This is Daily Armenia, ＳիվիլNeթ's daily news digest. Here are today's top stories from Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region. Today, the International Committee of the Red Cross sent 2 trucks with desperately needed humanitarian aid to Nagorno-Karabakh, one via the Lachin corridor connecting Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia, the other via the Aghdam road connecting Nagorno-Karabakh and Azerbaijan. As a result of persistent diplomatic efforts to find a humanitarian consensus between the decision-makers, today we are bringing shipments of wheat flour and essential medical items to Nagorno-Karabakh, the ICRC said in a statement. The organization said it hopes this consensus allows for our strictly humanitarian convoys to resume not just today, but in the weeks to come. The Lachin truck delivered 23 tons of Armenian-made flour, while the Aghdam truck brought in an unknown amount of Russian and Swiss-made medical and personal hygiene products, according to the Nagorno-Karabakh government. This marks just the second aid delivery to Nagorno-Karabakh in the past 3 months. Last week, a single truck belonging to the Russian Red Cross Society, a separate humanitarian organization, delivered a limited number of supplies to Nagorno-Karabakh via the Aghdam road. Over the weekend, the Nagorno-Karabakh government said it had accepted a joint proposal put forward by the ICRC's Stepanakert office and the Russian peacekeepers to allow the ICRC to deliver humanitarian aid to Nagorno-Karabakh via both the Lachin corridor and Aghdam road. This is necessary to eliminate the threats to the life and health of our citizens, Nagorno-Karabakh state-run info center said in a statement yesterday. The agency added, "We inform you that mediators are working to set up a meeting with official representatives of Artsakh and Azerbaijan to alleviate the tense humanitarian and security situation." It did not elaborate. Azerbaijan's near-total blockade of Nagorno-Karabakh has now stretched beyond 9 months. The blockade has pushed Nagorno-Karabakh's roughly 120,000 Armenians to the brink of famine and prompted warnings of genocide from the former chief prosecutor at the International Criminal Court. Armenia's ruling civil contract party has lost its majority on Yerevan City Council, even while securing the most votes of any single party in yesterday's elections. Preliminary results put civil contract at about 33%, followed by former Mayor Haik Marutyan's National Progress Party at 19%. 3 other parties also scored representation on the council. Those are Mother Armenia, which is supported by former President Robert Kocharyan and got about 15% of the vote, the Republic Party, which is seen as close to civil contract and took about 11% of the vote, and Public Voice, which is connected with the controversial US-based blogger nicknamed Dog and secured about 10% of the vote. Notably, the Country for Living Party, which is linked to billionaire businessman and philanthropist Ruben Vartanyan, failed to overcome a 4% threshold and will have no seats on the new city council. Because no one party was able to secure an outright majority, it is not immediately clear who will become Yerevan's next mayor. Newly elected city councilors must now convene to form a governing coalition to select the mayor. Projections put the number of women expected to take seats at 21 out of 65 city councilors, an all-time high. Only about 29% of eligible voters cast ballots yesterday, the lowest figure Yerevan has ever recorded. For comparison, the city's previous municipal elections in 2018 saw 44% turnout. In other news, the village of Hachik in Armenia's Vayotdzor region is gearing up to host this year's Gata festival, an annual celebration of the traditional Armenian sweetbread. This year's festival is sponsored by the Areni Municipal Government, Armenia's Tourism Committee, the H. Hovnanyan Family Foundation, and the Areni Festival Foundation. If you're in Armenia, be sure to check out the festivities, which begin at noon on Saturday. And finally, the SivilNet number of the day is 9.75%. That's Armenia's benchmark interest rate as of last week, when the country's central bank moved to cut the cost of borrowing for the 3rd time so far this year amid easing inflation. For that story and more, you can take a look at the latest episode of SivilNet's weekly business digest, up now on our website and YouTube channel. And as always, please follow SivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground in Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region.